So can everybody see my screen, I presume? You can see my screen, Mark?
Yeah, just says BIM360 team at the moment, does it?
Yeah, I have a presentation here now. So do you want to start off, Mark, or do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, no, you can fire away with them.
That's fine. Yeah, no, thanks everybody for coming today. Appreciate some of you on your lunch break. Yeah, so I'll try to keep this as short as possible. So yeah, today's webinar is about BIM360 team. Some of you may have heard about it. So it's an online collaboration and design review tool from Autodesk. So today I'm just going to give an overview of the features. It won't necessarily be detailed to everybody's specific needs, but you know, if you have questions, then just fire them away and we'll try answer them. Or if you want to get in touch with Diatec after the webinar about your specific needs or workflows that you think it might fit into, just let us know and we'll do all we can. So I suppose to introduce myself, I'm Jonathan Reinhardt. I'm a BIM specialist on Autodesk products, and my background is as an architectural technologist and as a BIM manager. So I have worked in the industry, so I do understand where these tools can fit in, and hopefully you can see that too today. So I'll just continue on. So yeah, I suppose the point of BIM360 team is to the overall view of it is to create, you know, a one team idea between, you could be based in separate offices, it could be in the same city, it could be in Dublin, Cork, or you could be based around the country or within Europe, and you want to create a platform that enables you to work together and to feel as one team, and not necessarily as an isolated project or design team. So that's whether you're within the same company or whether you're independent third-party consultants or clients based in different locations. As I said, you could be based locally to each other, but BIM360 team enables you to be able to meet online and review designs at the design stage of a project. So it connects isolated teams also. So current collaboration tools, we all know email. That's we send drawings, we send emails, requests. You know, it can be a bit disconnected. You can be looking for that email that asked you to change something on a drawing or a client request, and you know, they always get lost. So I suppose hopefully what I'll show you today kind of keeps it in more of a structured process. And then again, similar collaboration tools, SharePoint, network drives, or you know, we all have servers within our businesses, but obviously they're isolated to be used just by the people working in those companies. And then basic cloud storage. A lot of people have used Dropbox and the likes of things like that. Dropbox, obviously a good tool, but when it comes to sharing 3D models and things like that, it wouldn't have the same capabilities as BIM360 team. So basically, yeah, they don't really centralize project files. The likes of Dropbox and email, they're always in separate locations. So we hope to show you how 360 team can centralize your project files. So the standard tools, they don't really resolve the issues. There can be miscommunications. You know, there's often a loss of information as well. As I said, if you're looking for that email where a request was made, you can't find it. You know, is somebody in trouble, or do you have to dig deeper and hope that you have a different copy of it? And always, you know, a lack of communication can lead to delays and obviously rework within designs. And I suppose it comes down to loss of income as well. And hopefully 360 team shows that you can keep all that in one central location and keep it streamlined to kind of eliminate a lot of those kind of issues. So this is, I suppose, I just put together a sample workflow or a case where 360 team might fit in. So say you're designing a school project in Ireland or abroad, and your team is not in the same office, but you want to virtually co-locate them. So this is, you know, it could be at your concept stage or your brief stage and going through to your pre-construction stage, you still have all consultants and structural engineer, fire safety consultants, M&E engineer still involved at the project. And whereas you might have a weekly design team meeting around a board table, which is all well and good, but it's not always possible. So being able to maybe stretch out your physical meetings and being able to do them online in the likes of 360 team offers a lot of benefits and you know, helps you, I suppose, progress your design without everybody having to travel to the one office, and you can enable that on 360 team. So these are just some of the main features. So you're able to find all your projects in one place. It's an online cloud storage, to put it simply, and then you can share those designs, including 2D drawings, PDFs, it could be 3D models, and you're able to rotate those 3D models as well and explore them even further and do walkthroughs and stuff online, all in the cloud, and it's all one central location as well that everybody can access them in. They're not segregated in any way. So as I said, it's a centralized place for design, information and team collaboration. Then you're also able to review those designs in the cloud as well as viewing the drawings, and you can add markups, and that creates a whole trail, as you can see here on the right hand side of the screen. It tells you who commented where and at what point they commented, and you can add markups and revision clouds, and that's all captured there. So that's your whole record. You know, it saves you having to send separate emails and make separate phone calls between people. It's all there for everybody to see. And again, you can change the access levels. Not everybody has to have this type of access, but you can change the access levels for certain project members or whatever, you know, a company's responsibilities are on a project. So just some of the features I've kind of put together myself, what I think would be relevant to projects. So as I said, centralizes project files, one cloud storage location. The live review, which is quite a bespoke feature of BIM360 team. It allows you two people in separate locations to access the model, and it basically allows you to rotate the model in real time, and it will move on the other person's screen, whether they're, you know, in a different office or in a different part of the world. They'll be able to see what you see, and you can share how things look, how you want to navigate a 3D model, and everybody will be seeing the same view within the live review feature, and I'll go through that as well. As I said already, 2D and 3D viewer. There's something like 70 file format it supports, and it's not only Autodesk products. There's SketchUp, Rhinoceros, a lot of other products as well that it supports, so it's quite dynamic. And then this is actually a cool feature. I've tested it out myself in the last few days with the iPad, and that works with the live review as well. So somebody could be, you know, they could be in a hotel or sitting on a train traveling to a meeting, and they can be partaking in the meeting as well, using the design live review on their iPad, or if it's a laptop or a mobile phone, and it all updates simultaneously between everybody. So this could be done over a conference call, or it could be just done statically through 360 team. And then, as I said already, it allows you to mark up designs within the 3D or 2D environment. You can add revision clouds, text comments. You can send questions to people or queries to people. It could be, you know, a fire consultant or a DAC query to somebody to get them to clarify a door width, or, you know, does it need a leading edge? Is this corridor wide enough? And that's all captured within the project activity as well. So there's a good record of it there. And then something else I'll show is file versioning and comparison, which is a very strong feature. So if you update your model, and you can select from different file versions, I'll show that again in the demonstration. So as I said, in any format, not just Autodesk products, but as well a whole other range, SolidWorks there, and Microsoft Office and Word and Excel. So it's quite diverse in what it supports. And then just to add, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a collaboration for Revit webinar. And the purpose of this is because collaboration for Revit integrates directly with 360 team, so I won't hang around too much on that. I'll mention it again at the end, but just to keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so I'll jump into the demonstration now. So
Sorry, Jonathan. Could you share your screen up to me with the panel?
sorry, Mark.
Sorry, Jonathan, I haven't got your screen. I wonder if you could share it out to me as a panelist.
Okay, can you see it now?
No. No. Sorry. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Demonstration now. So basically, when you log in with an Autodesk ID into BIM360 team, you'll have a screen that this could be blank. I've created 2 projects in here. So it's straightforward enough kind of to create your folder online. So I'll actually show you how easy it is. You just create project, and it could be school building, or obviously whatever your naming convention is. You can upload a personal icon as well, you know, your company logo, or if there's a project logo, and you can just go create project, and then that creates a folder in here. So it also allows you to set notifications. You can be sent desktop notifications and email notifications of if there's a change to the project. So if somebody updates a drawing, or updates a model, or adds a file, or revises a file, you'll get a notification and an email. And again, you can change this as per your administration level. And you can set different settings for depending on a project member's role within a project. So I've set up a Diatec folder here just for today's webinar. And within that, I've actually set up individual folders. Now in this case, I've used the RIAI workstages. It could be whatever your internal system is for foldering and naming. You can follow that if you want, but just to show you as an example, you can set up your complete folder structure in there. So just to show you an example what it does hold, I've JPEGs in here. You could have your architect's sketch, or it could be certain notes taken from a meeting, or it could be site photographs. That can be all stored in there, and it can all be viewed online as well. And it tells you who uploaded it and the owner of it as well. As well as that, on the right hand side here, it gives you a complete project dialogue. So activity of everything, of what was uploaded, what was updated, and you can see between this morning and yesterday I was kind of messing around with it and adding different file types. So with PDFs here, I added the building regulations. You might want to share them and have them as reference within the cloud there. So let's go back to this. So within scheme design, I've actually I've dropped in the building regulations there as a reference. I've dropped in some CAD drawings as well. So I'm just going to open up our 3D model here just to show you the different viewer. And as I said, it's not only Revit files. You can use Navisworks files. It can be a SketchUp file you can have here also. So this is your basic 3D viewer. So what this has done, it's uploaded my Revit model, but it's also brought all the sheets with it as well. So any sheets you have set up within Revit, it will upload them as well. And if this is linked into your collaboration for Revit, you can set exactly what gets published. So you could just publish one sheet, one 3D view or one 3D model, whatever it is. So it's quite flexible in your controls of it. So as I said, these are all your Revit sheets that have been uploaded. And you can see it's pretty good quality image. It's all vector lines. It's not just a JPEG image. And these are all interactive. You can see you've lots of tools down here. You've markup tools. It's just to show you as an example. You can create a call out if you want with a revision cloud. So could be this corner here. Weathering detail. weathering detail to be agreed. You can click save on that, and that goes into the activity log, and anybody else that's involved in the project or assigned to the project will get a notice to say, an email or a notification to say that a comment has been added, and they can then log in and they can see where the comments are, and if you can assign that comment to somebody, and if they need to come back to you somehow or make a change, they're able to do that within 360 team or from uploading their new model or drawing. You also can pick points within it. This could be a 3D model. You can pick an object, an item, so in that case it's the wall. You can ask a question. Well, material finished to wall. You can post that. Somebody then come along and write a response to that. But that's assigned to that section of wall. So that could be a door or any object within a project. So it's very specific, and it will always keep a complete breadcrumb trail of that within the activity log as well, so everybody can always go back to it, and it's not just an isolated notation on a drawing, it's relevant to that exact wall. You also have some measuring tools. You can measure between points. Thickness of wall, it can tell you. It's in American terms for now, and you can, if it's corridor widths or anything you need to check, it can all be done there. It also brings in your properties from Revit, so if you select your wall or your door, it will bring up all your levels of information. So if it is a material or a finish or a fire rating that needs to go in there from your Revit model, it brings it up and it can all be clarified in the cloud. So we'll just go into, I'll show you the 3D view. So that was our 2D viewer, and again, that was just our drawing straight from our Revit file. So you can see the 3D view is quite presentable, and it's actually quite good detail, I have to say. It's good shading. I don't know if that comes across. It's very presentable, so you could be presenting this to a client remotely, as I said. You could be showing them what you want a certain room to look like, or what it is going to look like. If it's a roofing detail or any sort of junctions, it's very presentable to show them. It's not just a harsh looking 3D. You can also do a walkthrough of it, and again, you know, very presentable. And you can add comments to this as well, as I showed earlier. So you can select either comment on objects or comment on point. So in this case, I'm going to comment on this piece of glass, and I'm going to say should be opaque glazing here, and that will be attached to it. And again, that comes up in the project activity log. And that comment will also show up within your floor plan as well, if you assign it to the correct floor plan. So I'll just so that was the comment I added previously, but it shows up in the drawing as well above it, so it's not just isolated to one sheet. So that's kind of the 3D viewer with the commenting and markups. Another feature of 360 Team is the drawing versioning as well. So somebody updates a drawing, something gets deleted, and you're not notified of it. How are you supposed to know? So there is a comparison tool within 360 team. So you can see up here, it's automatically created V1 and V2. You can see version 1 was uploaded and then version 2 was uploaded, and the 360 team automatically versioned these. You didn't have to rename it or anything. It was all done automatically. So you can compare versions. You can choose what sheet or what view you want to compare, or is it an elevation. In this case, I'm just going to use the 3D. It's just loading in the changes now. So that has notified me that there was a change. So what I had actually done is I deleted a curtain wall out of here. And it actually highlights it within there, and it tells you where the change was and what the change was. And that comes up. You can color code it to different per object, or you can actually filter it to, was it your electrical engineer or your plumber, or was it, you know, your glazing specialist or consultant who made the change. You can isolate them there with these different filter options here. And it actually tells you how many objects were removed, which you can set up in Revit if you think it's relevant to use. And then again, you can add comments to that as well. And this, you can actually export the change list objects to Excel as well. And it'll give you a full list, all tabulated within Excel, of exactly what was removed. So there could be a good opportunity for a workflow there. So again, I'll just kind of show you the feature. So you could be showing this to a client on the phone. You could be in a meeting, you know, with your design team, or design team within your own practice, or if you're sharing it between 3 of you, and you can be navigating this while on a conference call or adding comments, and it all happens simultaneously on everybody's screen. So as you can see, it's fairly good detail, and it takes everything straight from your Revit model. So we'll just add in another comment here. So that's why I'm going to pick a point there. I can add in a comment about finish to all, to be confirmed. You can also set that to full screen as well, just depending if you're tight for space. And as I said, that all those comments come through into your floor plans as well. So this can always also be shared. So say there's somebody not at the meeting or on the call that you're trying to review the design with, you can just click share. You hit the share button. You can send it to an email address. And you can set different settings, allow viewers to download to their computer, and that will just send them a link to be able to view it. So it might be somebody that isn't involved in the meeting, and they get a notification to say that the model has been shared with them, and then they're able to view that online as well, with all the changes and the comments having been updated already. So we'll jump into the live review. So what the live review does, it engages everybody to be able to navigate the 3D model at the same time. So I tested it this morning on the iPad. It worked quite well. I was navigating the model on my iPad, and it was navigating on my laptop screen as I was moving it as well. So that was all done purely through an internet connection. So you could be remotely, different offices, different parts of the country, or in fact different parts of the world. So you can set your name. So I'm actually gonna, so you could have your DAC consultant be signing in. I can then send this link to people. I can copy this link. I can send it on. Those people can then log in here. You'll see their name will come up on the right hand side. So in this case, it's DAC consultant, but you can invite as many project members as you want to there. So as I navigate this, add comments. So this is the comment tool here. Please see entrance door width. That will come up within a shared activity log there, and it will come up live on everybody else's screen as well. So you could have your fire consultant could be involved with you at your design stage. You can go internally into the building. You might want to discuss head heights or something like that. So you're able to show them this, and as I said, this person could be sitting on a train, they could be on their phone, they could be out at another meeting, you know, trying to call in, and they're able to see this live as it happens. They'll see this model navigate as I'm showing you on the screen here, and they can also add comments in here if they want. But I suppose it keeps people connected, you know, whether they're on the road or you know, away at another meeting and just finished and can't get back to the office in time. It ensures they're engaged with the project and I suppose always up to date with any sort of design decisions. And especially from the client's point of view, it really, you know, enhances, I suppose, their involvement in the project, and it keeps them always in line with any changes or any sort of decisions that have been made. And always keeping your consultants, fire consultant, DAC consultant, always making sure they're on the right page and there's no nasty surprises. So as I said, graphically it's fairly good presentation and gives you a good insight into what the building is actually going to look like. So as I said, you can add more comments to this if you want. You can set up 3D views and then you can share them with people. It's up to yourself. And then you have a whole range of different sort of views that you can see there. Another handy tool is a section tool. Some of you may know this from Revit. It's very similar to the section box within Revit. It allows you to cut a section through your building, whichever way you want. So this is good to explain a design. You want to have a look at a floor plan in 3D. You don't necessarily want to see it in a black line 2D drawing. You can cut a section box and have a look in exactly how your layout looks in 3D. And as I said, this can be shared with everybody else and updates simultaneously on their screen. And again, you can browse the model by different elements. So whatever way you have it set up in Revit, you can isolate certain elements. It will show you just your stairs, for example. But you could also isolate this per person or per consultant or their, I suppose, their responsibility within the project. And you could assign that within Revit itself. There's lots of different settings here as well for appearance. I kind of have ambient shadow and ground shadow on. It looks performs a bit better, but it also looks a lot more presentable. So if it's a client or something that you're presenting to, it looks a lot more presentable. So, and I have to say, this is all running direct from the cloud, and it handles it very well. There's no lag. It's very fast as well. And then you're able to download the model if you want. for whatever reason somebody wants to have a look at it on their own machine, they're able to do that too. And as I said, you can share links and you can share views with people just by a simple copying a link, and you can email it or just put in their name. In the background, it does keep an overview of your project updates. So this is where the log is stored, basically, of all the activity, any comments that have been added. This mightn't always be relevant to use this because you'll have other ways of keeping track of changes, but it keeps a record of it there anyway, and you'll always know where to find, if somebody asks you to move something or change something, there's a record of it there. And then you can view and manage the comments also. So, you can assign them to people, you can close them out, you can assign an action to somebody. That can all be done from within there. Let's go back into the 3D view. That's probably my machine. I have Revit open in the background, and it's a bit demanding. Okay, just while that's loading, does anybody have any questions or any queries in relation to the webinar? Here we are, some questions. Mark, anything to add there?
No, I mean, just in terms of downloading models, in terms of and the different levels of user permission.
Yeah, so you control the user permission when you invite somebody. I'll just go into it now. So I'll just close my Revit in the background here. When you invite somebody, you can set their different, whether they're an admin or they can be an editor or a viewer of a project. So you can assign that as soon as you're putting their name in. So it's quite flexible.
And who has permission to download the model?
Sorry?
Who has permission to download the model?
Yeah, you can assign when you click share within a project. When you send a link, it's similar to Dropbox scenario. When you share, so this share option down here, it shows up beside your model, but this can also show up within the 3D viewer. When you click share, you can copy link, and you can allow viewers to download their computer. So obviously you might want to restrict downloading at some point for certain sensitive projects, or if you only want them to view it online. You just have to click that there, and then the link automatically updates, and then it's restricted for them to only view it online. And you can set what email addresses and who you share it with as well. You can also set a password to it if it's, I suppose, quite a sensitive project. You can set a password to it, and it's shared only amongst the members that you want to access it. And then obviously you can change the password if somebody has left or isn't on the project any longer. You can control that access even further. Anything else, anybody, or? Mark, anything else to add?
So really just to say that if anybody wants to any information on how the licensing works in terms of numbers, just to say that you can buy licenses individually for the team. Then there's a 25 user pack, which kind of the single licenses are about 109 euros or 105 euros per license per year. That comes down to about 63 euros if you buy a 25 pack. So that's the kind of costings that are involved. So if anybody wants to talk to me about that, be happy to answer the questions.
Perfect. So if there's anything else, or okay, well, thanks everybody for attending. And as I said, we've a webinar again in 2 weeks' time on collaboration for Revit, and this shows how collaboration for Revit works, but also how it integrates with BIM360 team. So you can find the login details for that, the registration details, on the diatec.ie/news page, and there's a registration link there. That's October 3rd, and it's a short enough webinar. There won't be too much in it, so we won't keep it too long. But again, it does link directly to BIM360 team. So thanks everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining.
Okay.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark. Thanks everybody.